Hey creative friends, welcome to my channel and welcome to my sewing room, because today my video is going to be about a sewing thing that you can do that I do and I love, and I wanted to share it with you because I think it's a lot of fun. And if you're not familiar, if you are a machine embroidery enthusiast, then you'll know the excitement that I have every time I sit down to make something with my machine. And if you're not, I just kind of want to show you what it's about, because people see, and I did for a really long time, I thought, why would you want a machine to embroider when you can embroider like in a hoop, like what I learned to do with my grandma, which a lot of people are, that's it. That's the kind of embroidery you do. But I need to show you that type of hand embroidery is a completely different craft than this. It's kind of like saying quilting is like making bags. They're not. It's all done on a machine, but it's a completely different, it's a form of sewing, but it's a completely different thing. And this machine embroidery is a completely different thing than hand embroidery. And I used to hand embroider a lot, and I just my hands, I don't know, it's just different. So I'm having a great time with the machine embroidery. So I wanted to share it with you. So first of all, I'll tell you a little bit about how it works. So machine embroidery is not just about doing, like putting fancy things on clothes. I'll show you a couple of the things that I've done. Okay, I made this shirt. It's like just a nice, a long sleeve kind of a shirt. And I did embroider this on there. Now, this is something that could have been done probably by hand embroidery, but it would have taken me a really long time. And I even have down here, there's a split in the front. Oh, there it is. Let me see. So the bottom of it has a little split, and there's little matching flowers there. So this, yeah, this is something that could be done by hand. So that is kind of the crossover. That's kind of like the connector between hand embroidery and machine embroidery. And then these, I've decided this past year, all of our holiday Christmas gifts were handmade. We decided, my daughter and I, we decided it was all going to be handmade, and it was so fun, and we had a really good time doing it, that I'm kind of going to do that next year. So I am already starting on gifts for birthdays and Christmas and things like that that are handmade. Now, yeah, my husband says it's not really handmade, you're kind of cheating because the machine's doing it, but to me, it's like you have a pattern for a piece of clothing, let's say a shirt. You get to pick the thread, you get to pick the color, you get to pick the pattern on the fabric, you get to pick the type of fabric. So it's taking a pattern and then making it yours. For example, I made these for my daughter. It's a good thing she doesn't watch my videos or she'd know. But this is a set of adorable towels that I made for her, and this is for her birthday. So see, I've already got these done, and her birthday isn't until June. But see, I'm going to show you. So there's the Sunday, and then the adorable little Monday, and then there's a Tuesday. Aren't they cute? And these are completely done on the machine. And there are different stabilizers that you use. So this one is what you call a wash away stabilizer, so that when the design is finished, you just wash away the stabilizer on the back, and it doesn't have that hard feeling like you'll get sometimes. So those are super cute. But what makes me, I am just so excited about making things like that because they're super cute. But the other thing is a thing called in the hoop designs, and I am so hooked on in the hoop designs. Let me show you. Hang on, I'm gonna pull this little pattern out because I did this. The way this works, and I'll talk about my machine in a second and how I have that set up. Let me go. So there's different companies online, and they have patterns, and the patterns are completely made in the hoop. And the hoop, I did have a different embroidery machine, and the biggest hoop it would do was 5x7. So I was telling Joe down at our electric hospital that I wanted a machine that had a bigger hoop, and so he showed me this machine, and I'll talk about it in a second. But see, it can do a really big hoop. So whoops. So then, like this hoop, I could do, say, the back of a denim jacket or the back of a plain hoodie. I could do that. So so it does do the great big hoop, and it also does up to this size. So this is the biggest one it'll do, except it will also do what they call the endless hoop, and it's a hoop that you could do, say you were going to do designs along the bottom of a tablecloth, like along a tablecloth, and it will just keep, you can just keep moving the hoop down to continue the design. So let me get this back up there. so that I put this away. I always try to keep my hoops and stuff where they're put away, safe and secure. Okay, so and in the hoop design, I want to show you, I made 2 of these for our great nieces. They're adorable. They're little tooth fairy pouch bags, and it even has like a little zipper right here. See, you put the little tooth in there, and then you lay this or set it somewhere, and the tooth fairy rewards you, takes the tooth and leaves you whatever goodie. So these are 2 that I made, and each one of them took maybe an hour, maybe a little longer. It depends on how many colors I chose, but you see that's the same design, and I just used different colors and different threads and things like that. But like I said, there's different companies. Now, machines will oftentimes have fonts, a couple fonts, and some designs. I'll show you how mine, what mine has in a second. But if you go on to machine embroidery designs, there's a bunch of companies. One of my favorites is called Sweet Pea. They're out of Australia, but they have the cutest patterns, and they have tons of what they call in the hoop. So this is the pattern, and I always like to print them out. And it literally has the step-by-step. It has the different sizes of hoops, so the different sizes that you can make. The bigger the hoop, the bigger the project, clearly. And then it tells you step-by-step how to make it. But, and I'm going to do some. I'm going to do a couple of these for you. But I just want to give you an intro of what I am just having so much fun making. So it shows you how to put a zipper in, how to put your fabrics together, and the whole thing is completely made in the hoop, not on a sewing machine at all. And you just do each step like that. So that's called Sweet Pea. I could put the link to their website here. Another one is Designs by JuJu. There's another one called Kreative Kiwi. These are really good. There's Embroidery Library. There's just tons, and there's so many. So it's cool. But I'll make I just made these 2 in the last couple of days, and I just think they're adorable. So there's that. But the one thing I'm going to do a video on is this one. It's an in the hoop project, and I think it's so darn cute. This is another one from Sweet Pea, and do you see what that is? It's a little Santa Claus mat. And my goal is to make one of these for all of our younger folks, younger families in our family. So I need to make 4. I need to make 3 more of the Santa Claus, and they even have a Rudolph one with a pocket for the carrots, and I need to make 4 of those. So these look like that, aren't they? Isn't that cute? And so there's a little pocket here. He put his cookie in there and his little drink right there. The only thing on this that is actually done on a sewing machine is to connect the 4 panels and to put the backing on. And it's super simple the way they have you do the backing. So I will do one of these for you. I'll do a video on that. But let's talk about the machine. So this is I am a Husqvarna Viking girl. Just that's me. And that started because when I was very young and I used to watch Sewing with Nancy on PBS when I was a stay-at-home mom with babies. Sewing with Nancy was always sponsored by Husqvarna Viking, and I always dreamed that one day I would own one of those machines. Well, finally got the sewing machine, and I love my little Husqvarna Viking Opal, but then I got this one, which is the embroidery machine, and this one is called the Designer Ruby Royale. And it is an awesome machine because it is, and Joe told me I could get rid of my Opal because this is also a sewing machine, but I love my Opal. So I'm going to have this, and I'm going to have my Opal. I can't get rid of it. But it's got a great guide. The guide will show you all the sewing things, but then in the back, it does all the embroidery processes. And this is a book of all the built-in designs that it has. And so there's tons that you can do without even getting any of the other ones that you can get online. And the way that works is when you go online, you purchase your design, like your in the hoop project, or just the design that you can embroider onto something. And then you save it, you download it, you unzip it, and you save it to an SD card. So I have this one is my one for Sweet Pea Designs. I have one for Creative Fabrica and Design Library. And I have Kiwi and JuJu on this one. So I have them. And what happens is they go into the side, and then your machine will read those patterns. Now, some machines, the one step up from this, they're just Wi-Fi enabled so that you can actually just whoosh, whip them over on Wi-Fi to your machine. The machines will, and if you are a super embroidery professional, I'm just telling what I know. I am not an embroidery professional. I have my threads. Drives my daughter crazy because I have not got them organized according to, you know, greens, blues. They're just like, I look up there and go, ooh, I like that color. They get pulled off of there and they get put back in no order at all. But this machine, they'll always have this bar here. This is where you put your hoop, and it's going to tell you that it needs to calibrate. So I'm going to show you what happens. It's thinking, and now it's going to run that so that it has recalibrated so that it knows exactly where it's at. Because oftentimes during those in the hoop things, you have to take the embroidery hoop off and maybe turn it over and put the backing on, like with that little tooth thing. And with this, you have to put a backing on it and then tape it down and turn it over, and then it'll stitch, and it's basically it stitched the back on. So that's fun. But here, let's just go to the designs that it already has. Got it. See, there's all these designs. Let me say I'm going to do this flower. I'm going to hold it, and then it's thinking about it. And down here, I can tell it the size of hoop, so I can make that real big. I can make it smaller, and you can change colors and do all that kind of stuff to it. So I'm going to delete that. And then I'll show you on like my Sweet Pea. I go up to the file and I hold it, and I'll go to the little SD or the USB drive, and there's little files with all of the patterns that I have purchased. And usually they have sales, and some of the patterns can be pretty intense. Sweet Pea also has really a fun different, they have their main Facebook page, but they also have like projects and blocks of the month where you can do quilts and all kinds of stuff. So they're very interactive. But let's just say I'm going to look right here. Here's a crazy patch thing. I'm going to look at that, and we'll just do, oh, I don't want to do that one. Let me go back. Let me go back to my SD stick, and I'll pick something that I did. Because I just want to show you how this kind of looks. So it's thinking, let me see. I'll do this egg muffin. This is basically a mug rug, a thing you can put your mug on. And you know me with my eggs and my chickens. So there it is. It's going to come up in color in a second. And my old, or maybe this one doesn't. It doesn't matter. If I could go. So I'm going to say, oh, I've chosen the hoop that I have is too small for it. So now I'm going to say go. And most of them will work the same way. Oh, I need to attach the hoop. So anyway, so what'll happen is over here, the colors will all come up. Let me put the hoop on. And the hoops, you just slide in there. They're underneath there. So now, is that the 20? Yeah, that's the right one. So I'm going to say go. And see, it's all calculating out. And here's your colors. And it will tell you to do the first color and then the second color. And you make kind of this cute little mug rug. They're adorable. It's fun. It's fun to make. And then I'm going to go back and just get rid of that. Anyway, so this machine also is a sewing machine. This isn't necessarily an advertisement for the machine. I'm just showing like you can get a basic machine that is only embroidery, or you can get something like this. Like I said, this is not only an embroidery, but a sewing machine. And the thing that is really cool about this that my other machine doesn't is it will go, let me put this in part position. Go away. It will go forward and backwards, but this machine will also sew side to side and at angles. Like, you don't even have to turn your work. It's very cool. So the stuff that they've done nowadays on machines are awesome. And if you want to learn more about machine embroidery, go to your local sewing machine store that sells these types of machines and find out. It's awesome. It's just fun to make things like this. So what I want to do is I want to cut all my pieces out that I need, because I need to make 3 more of these mats, and then my little Rudolph mat. I need to make 4 of those. So I will do a video on putting one of these together and making all the parts. And you can see why I'm so excited about these in the hoop machine embroidery projects. So there's just that little bit of information for you. And so if you are a machine embroiderer, I would love it for you to go over to my Facebook group and post pictures. In fact, I'll go over and do a post for it. And then if you guys can post pictures of things you made, I love it. So this is just one of those creative, crafty videos that I'm going to start doing more of this year. And I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, thanks for watching. And I'll see you in my next video.